Good morning, guys. I'm going to do a voiceover and give you a little welder motivation. Let's go. So how this came about is there was a young couple that I met in Dallas, and their son was interested in welding. I think he might have taken a little welding class or something, and he was really digging it. And he wasn't too much digging regular school, kind of like me. And they asked me, what if I had any information or advice for them, and I thought, man, I've got advice overload. If I had to do it all over again, what would I do? Because I'm going to tell you right now, welding, it was really my thing. I've always been good at it. I'm good with my hands. I'm awful at reading and spelling and all that stuff. But I've got a mild dose of dyslexia, which is really a superpower when it comes to piping and just about anything else. But it does make it tough to read. I can read, it's just, it's work. It's like digging a ditch or something. It's not very much fun. Me sitting around reading a book all day is just not in the cards. But good news! We live in the 21st century, and you can have books read to you. So there's no excuse. While I'm talking about books, everybody listening to this needs to listen to Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And if I ever meet you and you tell me, hey, I heard you say to listen to Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I did, you'll probably be a millionaire. So just know that. If you understand how money works, it won't be so bad to go work for somebody for a little while, because you'll know exactly what to do with your money afterwards. Well, maybe not exactly, but you can figure that out. Anyway, back to welding. So my story is I went to high school, sucked at spelling and reading, and I enrolled in welding school. And I went half a day at welding school and half a day at high school. I excelled in welding so much, they sent me to a competition. I won the competition, gave me a gold medal, really helped my self-confidence. Immediately went out to work in a machine shop. The machine shop was good money for a kid, I guess. I don't know. It was $12 or $13 an hour, or maybe less. I don't remember. No, it was $8 an hour. $8.50 maybe. And it was just enough money to spend on the weekend, really. I never had any money. And I thought, I'm a welder. I can make money. They make good money. Where do I have to go to make good money? All right, here's where the story gets interesting. I went to a power plant. They were building a brand new natural gas fired power plant about 20 minutes from that shop. And I started delivering tools to those guys. So I was delivering these levels and different odds and ends. And I got to talking to some welders, and they were making $18 an hour and $40 a day per diem. I thought, wow, what do I have to do that? Well, you just got to take a test. It's like, okay, that's what I did in high school. So I immediately went back and quit my job. And I got home. My mom said, weren't you at work? I said, I quit. She's like, what'd you do that for? I said, I'm going to go to work at a power plant. She's like, well, you shouldn't quit your job before you get a new one. Well, I didn't know anything about that. Nor did I make the best decisions when I was 18. I don't know if anybody did. That's another thing you need to know. You do not have a full deck of cards until you're about 30. Okay? So be careful. You don't know everything. I know you think you do, but you don't. All right, back to the story. So I go to work at this power plant. Barely passed the welding test. I think the welding inspector was just, I don't know, he was kind or liked me, or he knew I was local and needed a job. I don't know. It was like the pressure was on. And if you've ever had to take a welding test, especially your first one, they are nerve-wracking. Because you've got all this pressure on you, and everybody knows you quit your job to go be a welder at the power plant. And just failing is awful, but get used to it, because it happens every now and then. Don't be scared of it. There's no failures. There's only learning experiences. Because you'll do it the next time. If you don't pass it the first time, you'll pass it the next time. Don't make a big deal out of it. I have had people weld for me. I have taught kids how to weld for me. They'll go take a welding test, even though I told them it was too soon. They bust the welding test and never pick up a rod again. Now that's stupid. That's failing. Don't do that. If you fail, get your ass back up and do it again. I don't care what it takes. I don't care what other people think. Trust me, I've got a YouTube channel. Started it with my shirt off, making an ass of myself. I don't care. I'll just do whatever it takes to go to the top. You got to be that way. I hope I'm reaching somebody because it's the truth. All right, back to welding. I digress. So I go to this power plant. I'm welding, and I'm digging it. I'm making $1,000 a week when I was 18, 19 years old. That was a lot back then in 2000 or so. Maybe it's 2001. And 6 months, 8 months went by. Everybody's talking about other jobs, paying more money. It's like, wow, all right, I'm into that. Because listen, when you go to work for these power plants, they're called at-will companies. Come at will, leave at will. No big deal. And that is the world I grew up in. I'd work at a job a little while and drag up and go to the next one. Now, that's not the best way to do it, by the way. I try to do what I say I'm going to do. But like I said, I was 18 or 19 years old, and I didn't know any different. Because you can only drag up on so many people, and then they're not going to hire you back. The word gets out that you don't stick around. So, I've been to the power plant. I have made friends and acquaintances that knew of other jobs. And there was a job in Texas. It was paying a little more money. So I went there, made more friends. Hey, there's a job in North Carolina. So I went there. And this whole time, we worked 7 days a week, 10 or 12 hours a day. Sometimes 14 and 16 hours a day. And you're probably thinking, oh man, who wants to do that? Well, here's the thing. You make so much money in such a short amount of time. You can invest that money, or you can just blow it all like I did. It took me about 3 months to go through all of it. So I'd work for 3 months and I'd be off for 3 or 4 months. And I'd work for 3 months and be off for 3 or 4 months. So I could take the whole summer off. When all my other friends were at college, they'd get out for the summertime, and I'd get off my shutdown or wherever I was at, and I would come home and hang out with them for 3 months. That's it, guys, for today. I'll finish the story maybe tomorrow or the next day. Y'all have an awesome day. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments. Later.